So that new 21 Pilots song, yeah? It's alright. The song itself, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to understand. It's Tyler encouraging his brother, or the listener, into cutting off their monotonous everyday cycle and going out there to achieve what they want to achieve. An encouraging message from our boy, Mickey Mouse. But like, it's 21 Pilots, like it can't be that simple, right? Let's backtrack real quick. Dema.org.info, a cryptic website where we find strange imagery and messages from a character named Clancy, starts decompiling and deleting everything from the site. Suddenly these promotional posters appeared and well, you know me, I just had to investigate. It was on one fateful day where those original promotional images suddenly appeared. They looked strange, different, and these images haven't seen the light of day outside of the Dema site other than people reposting them, so what can we see in them? Well, for me, in my opinion, I think they look a lot like magazine advertisements. More specifically, advertisements for Apple.
Apple, the personal computer.
Apple's marketing campaign during the 70s and 80s promoted innovation, something new, something fresh, colourful, something exciting and young. It was appealing to the eye. It didn't look like boring tech advertisements. It looked like something that everyone should be excited for.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
I also found that it had a very clear motive similar to the ideas presented in the Sega Genesis marketing scheme during the 90s. You can see some influence from Sega in the logo designs and even the elements used within the poster material itself. Sega pushed this idea that they were better than the competition. They focused on selling their products as exactly that, products. And so that's how this poster appears to be selling the band, not as individuals we know, but as products. It's exciting, it's colourful, it's vibrant, it's fresh. It's a drastic shift from what we've seen in previous album designs. For example, Blurryface was very dark, minimalistic, red and black. It focused on the use of symbols, geometric lines, dots and glyphs. It was, to me, quite visually similar to that of satanic imagery. And that makes a lot of sense considering that a majority of the album was focused on the idea of inner demons personified as an entity that we know as Blurryface. Trench was about rebelling against those ideas. It was gritty, tactile, had this texture and this homemade quality to it. It had like a human touch almost, especially in the concept of the yellow tape, using this tape as a signifier that represents a collective, the Banditos. It shies away from these geometric lines used in Blurryface and approaches more of this stencil and spray paint kind of look, as though it was crafted by the hands of the people. It has this visual similarity to that of protest signs, where different people come together to fight against a common cause. But Scaled and Icy feels welcoming. It feels warm and colourful, but it's not welcoming in the same way that Trench feels. Trench has this, again, homemade quality, but Scaled and Icy has this very manufactured feel to it. The use of bubbly text in this flowing stream of colour, the company logos using very soft and appealing shapes. It is designed to look visually appealing in order to sell a product. In many regards, it feels like a retro callback, and this feels uncharacteristic compared to the two previous albums. But we actually have been seeing this shift happen over the course of time. Level of Concern sonically sounds very retro, and the typography has a very 80s retro synthwave kind of style to it. It has a focus on old technology like flash drives and camcorders and TV sets. And Christmas Saves the Year is nostalgic in different ways. The song itself is very lo-fi synthwave, but it's actually in the visuals that make it nostalgic. How it looks like a scrapped together photo album with stickers and decoration plastered everywhere. But speaking of Level of Concern in Christmas Saves the Year, we've actually been receiving a lot of hints towards this new album through these songs. After the release of Level of Concern, the band actually put us into a codebreaker game, and after people spent hours working together to solve these codes, some individuals were sent flash drives which contained a video, and in the background of that video, another code. Clancy is dead. And in the background of the Christmas Saves the Year single cover, behind a young Josh and Tyler, we see a gift from Clancy. And inscribed on that present is the message, "SAI is propaganda." Through the DMA website, Clancy has been known for a very long time to send out hints and messages. He is, after all, the messenger. Our one-way connection to understanding what is going on within the walls of Dema and within the 21 Pilots universe. A direct connection between the artist and the audience with no middleman standing between to try and sell it as something different. That is until that connection is broken. Clancy is dead. SAI is propaganda. SAI, Scaled and Icy, which is an anagram for Clancy is dead. These posters, while they look appealing, something feels off. Somehow, subconsciously, they feel cold or distant, as if we, the audience, don't know who these individuals are anymore. And that's because we're not getting that one-to-one conversation between the artist and the audience. That connection has been severed. Dema is stepping in as the new Clancy, our new messenger. Whatever kind of message Dema is trying to send the audience is gonna come through in the marketing. And like the bishops with vialism, it's going to reshape the way we think because it is propaganda. So, ISHAI comes out, and with that, a new video and a whole lot of marketing. This new set of designs leans a bit away from the old Apple style marketing that we saw before, and then leans into a more early 2000s Y2K, early internet aesthetic with a little hint of vaporwave. But what is the significance of these design languages? The central key component to these design philosophies is the heavy emphasis of early internet technology and the commercialization of the online world. In this awkward primitive period of the internet, businesses didn't really know how to subtly advertise, so instead they were really aggressive about it. And so this new design language and website is very reflective of that mentality. The scattering of logos and representative companies, special prizes for the people with the biggest pockets to pull from, an exciting live stream performance never before seen. It almost fetishizes online connection. And it makes sense. With the pandemic going on, we've been consumed by the online world once again. Businesses are having to adapt to this new reality that we're in, much like during the birth of the internet. And lately, 21 Pilots have been pushing this idea of them being these prolific internet icons. That endless music video was a weird phenomena that celebrated connection through the internet, along with codebreakers, primitive technology, interactive game-like virtual reality websites, and live stream performances. It all heavily satirizes commercialization and consumerism, and has transformed what used to be a manifestation of internal struggles into an external force, a giant corporate conglomerate feeding off these internal struggles, trying to sell you a product and prey on the audience's emotions and their willingness to believe the false representations of the individuals we know so well. We can see this in the changing of the iconic symbol. What was once in blurry face a symbol of darker themes was repurposed by the Bandidos as a symbol of hope, but Dema wasn't having it, so they replaced the old logo with a new logo that fits their new identity. SAI, or ASHAI. SAI, Scaled and Icy, Clancy is dead. This symbol represents the death of the messenger. That connection, Clancy, that form of communication you felt this whole time, is gone. And lastly, what about that dragon? Trash the dragon. In Norse mythology, it's a giant serpent that wraps itself around the world, in the same way capitalism wraps itself tightly around our world. And in other mythologies, dragons are seen hoarding gold. And in our world, who's hoarding all the gold? Yeah, that's right. It's Jeff Bezos. And that's it. So that's what the album is likely going to center around. I believe it's going to center around the idea of a conglomerate organization trying to send a message out to the audience. And that message is going to be something that's going to be good for the corporation itself, but it's going to be gazed in this very encouraging and lightly coated, sugar-coated message that is going to be perceived by most people as just, uplifting songs like that of Shy Away. But with Shy Away, the message is that Tyler wants his brother and other people to seek out their dreams. And what do people do when they seek out their dreams? They go into the industry, and that gives the industry more people to play with and to actually exploit. So in a sense, there's this negative undertone that's throughout the song. And that's what I think is going to be going through and through with this album. It's going to have this message of people exploiting other people for their emotions, and yeah, that's essentially it. So yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've done a video here, and I wanted to give this chance to just actually talk, because I haven't talked on this channel for a very long time. I used to be, with my videos, very cinematic, very dramatic, and this one was a little bit along that side, but I did want to tone things down and try and bring things down to a more grounded level and just be able to sit down and have a chat, because that's what I really miss, it's just, I miss having it be just a simple, nice video I can just make on here, and I really want to get back into it. So even though I've been quiet here, I've been active on other social media and doing other stuff. I've actually recently started a podcast where I talk about films and all that sort of stuff. You can actually check that out, and the sound quality is a lot better than what you're hearing now, so don't worry. I've got a soundproof area that I talk in. This is like in my main area where I hang out in. It's a little bit echoey. Hello. What have I been doing like the past like year, 2 years or so that I've kind of been gone from this channel is I've been just doing university study, man. I've been doing films, I've been making films with people, I've been primarily editing and lots of stuff. I was reluctant to do this video as well. I was very reluctant because I sort of closed out my channel, being like, I kind of want to stay away from just tapping into this band and using them as a way to sort of gain views and notoriety. I want to do my own thing. And when this album came out, I knew I was gonna get stormed of people asking me, like what is your take on this? And I was like, I'm not gonna make a video on this. But when the song came out, I think the message rung true with me. Don't shy away, just do it, just go for it, and so because the song sort of inspired that in me, even though it's got those undertones there, it definitely encouraged me to go for it, So Tyler, you son of a bitch, thank you. Thank you, buddy. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video now. Thanks for watching. I'm tired of holding this microphone right now. It's like heavy. I have nowhere to put it. I have no stand here. I could be sitting over at my desk, but nah, the aesthetic. Low angle tilt. Ooh baby, that's the money shot right there. Okay, bye.